All right, hey everyone, this is Jack, and welcome to your Friday video on futures. I've got two interesting scenarios that I wanted to review in this video. Let's get into it. On the right-hand side, you can see wheat futures, and one of my favorite things to look for in commodities is a squeeze after consolidation, and inside this rectangle right here, it is consolidation and a squeeze that you are looking at. So did it gap up today? It sure did. So it's, the reason why I'm doing this today is not because of the move in wheat, but the greater story going out about 6 to 8 months. Now, do I like it off the bounce off of the fire line? Absolutely. I like the long. I think it's continuing to be a long scenario into the upper 800s. Just wanted to bring this to the forefront, bring it to your attention because what we're seeing in the agricultural space and the commodity space is really unique. And after a lot of consolidation, mainly from looking at the weekly time frame here, you can just see how crazy it's been. I think we're going to go back into or revert to the mean to the upside and kind of try to take out those previous highs that we had back in September at about 950. So this is kind of getting the ball rolling. On the weekly time frame, you can get your first yellow bar on the histogram, which is a bullish indication of continuation for wheat. Back to the daily chart. Squeeze looks fantastic, but again, whenever it comes to the commodity space, give everything a little bit more time. I just wanted to bring this to your attention. It's not the focus of the video, but it's certainly one of the first things I wanted to talk about. Corn and soy are set to go higher as well. I view this from more of an agricultural macro story. Prices, supply and demand. It's just that basic fundamental story of, have the farmers had to spend a lot on feed? Yes, you can check that box. Have they been paid yet? Well, we've got another thing happening. We've got infrastructure across the pond in Ukraine that could be threatened this spring, which is going to make corn futures and wheat futures and really anything that gets exported from that country. I think it's going higher, maybe more higher than maybe we could possibly conceive right now, perceive, than we can imagine right now. And so just kind of giving a heads up to anybody that loves paying attention to geopolitics or macro stories across the board. You've seen commodities, including gold and silver, consolidate. I think the time here is just perfect for us to really shift our focus into gold, silver, some of the agricultural commodities as they start to wake up and start compressing. A lot of the compressions are happening whenever the move is to the upside because there has been a continued story since, my gosh, if you wanted to zoom out a little bit, all the way from all the gap downs that we had really from the spring of last year. So I think we're kind of waking up again, and it makes sense to at least start talking about taking out the highs by, fall of this year. So categorization: silver, gold, corn, wheat, all set to do some really interesting things. Silver's great. We've been really patient with this one this week. I talked about this in the premium futures video. If you are a premium subscriber, we've got a daily squeeze, a high compression squeeze, trying to fire to the downside. So if we have to fill the gap up from what we did in the middle of December, kind of the beginning of December, then that means that there's a chance we could see 21.5 in silver futures, which would also mean that gold would be back down to its prior median range at 1850. And very briefly, does it tap 1820? That's my question mark. Do we come back down to this tree line? It's very possible. It too has red 10x bars, and if you look at gold on a 4-hour chart, it's pretty interesting. Got a little bit of a high compression, then the move to the downside brought you red 10x bars, more red on the histogram, and now you have black dots on the squeeze histogram too. So Squeeze Pro will give you 3 different types of squeezes. We're now in a micro squeeze to the downside. So it's a hurry up and wait. Trust me, I'm the first person that tells you I love the long in gold, but it totally needs to take a break. If it does, 1850 in gold, 21.5, possibly 21 in silver, boom. That's, that is I think those might just be the funnest trades of the year and hopefully the most profitable. So the way that I'm going to do this is later dated expiration, probably fall SLV calls, but at the same time, to keep this within scope, I also like the idea of the short-term play. We just have to recognize the overhead resistance. So it doesn't really make sense to come in here and buy some Delta 60 calls on SLV, the 21s or like the 20.5s, you know, into only March, 35 days out. Or you can choose April. And so we'll talk about that next week. It's still a hurry up and wait because I'm waiting for the final shoe to drop. And if it does on Monday or Tuesday, also means we could maybe catch a nice little rally if just everything goes up into February monthly expiration. So it's interesting to kind of sit back and go, all right, well, if one thing happens, we're going to do this. So 1850, silver and gold. I'm sorry, 1850 in gold, 21.5 or 21 in silver. Makes sense to me. The S&P's overhead resistance, I think we're there. I think 4100 is clearly the overhead resistance. If you take a look at this weekly time frame on the S&P's, it's kind of interesting. The weekly 100, we cannot get above it. It's this light blue line coming in here. That is your weekly SMA. It is the 100 on a weekly time frame. Cannot get above it. And we're not even squeezing on a weekly time frame. I mean, we got a little bit of a micro squeeze, but I'll tell you what, February volatility, could we crush it back up to 4,300 and then fall over? I think that is a likely scenario. So that's what we're talking about Monday morning after you're recovering from the Chiefs beating the Eagles in the Super Bowl. And I'm thinking 28-24. It's going to be close, right? Anyway, should be a fantastic matchup. Love these two teams. Love the quarterbacks and the coaching squads from both these teams. Enjoy your weekend. We'll address all these things on Monday. Go Chiefs. Thanks for watching this video. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to like and comment down below to help us out. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you can get notified when we release our next video. And if you want to watch us trade in real time using our own money, go to simplertrading.com to learn how to sign up. Good trading, and we'll see you in the next video.